Now at 7 o'clock, evacuations underway for hundreds of thousands of people in western Washington as that part of the state braces for more heavy rain and even more flooding. Plus,
we don't even know what to do. We don't even know how to help him. Like, he's so far.
Family members are expressing concern after the Department of Homeland Security confirmed a Vancouver man has been transferred to a detention facility in Texas. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us with more on what the Department of Homeland Security had to say.
also this hour, police in Gresham looking for these three people they say put a card skimmer inside a local Dollar Tree store. How exactly they pulled it off, that is, coming up at 7:30.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm Shannon Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Where's Chris McGinnis? Where are Corey Johnson at? There they are. All right, guys, weather traffic starting right now.
Off to a really mild start this morning, guys. That's the first thing you'll notice when you step outside. 58 degrees at PDX. It's 55 right now with some light rain up towards Kelso. Salem sits at 56. The Oregon coast generally in the mid-50s. As we look live over downtown, we've been generally dry this morning in the Portland, Vancouver metro area specifically. And note the freezing level. I mean, it's above Mount Hood this morning, so a very warm air mass, mild air mass remains in place. We're on the south end of that, at the south side of that atmospheric river that is continuing to target western Washington up towards Seattle and points north. The southern periphery of that has continued to clip Astoria to Longview and up into the Washington Cascades here this morning with ongoing light rain, but rain nonetheless. Meanwhile, Portland and Vancouver have been generally dry, so one or two of those showers could work their way into Portland throughout the day today, but any rainfall for us would be very light. The mild temperatures, those continue. I've got dry weather in part of my forecasts and then another shot of rain early next week. We'll look at that in just a few minutes. Corey?
Well, Chris, taking a look out at the roadway, we've been monitoring an incident in North Portland. This is on Northeast Airport Way, right at the entry ramp from I-205 South. One lane blocked due to a collision involving a semi. Emergency crews still out there at this hour. It's not causing much in the way of congestion or delays. This is a look at our traffic map to show you exactly where it's situated. But this is Northeast Airport Way at 82nd Avenue. You can see not much in the way of congestion following that crash. A tour of the interstates, I-5 southbound at Morrison Bridge, moving along quite nicely at this time. Also in the right-hand corner of your screen, our WashDOT camera of I-5 SR at SR14, also moving smoothly at this hour. Your drive time sitting typical for this time of morning. If you're traveling along I-84 west from Troutdale to I-5, it sits just under 20 minutes. Drew?
All right, thank you, Corey. We do have one more traffic note here. The Broadway Bridge South sidewalk is going to be closed overnight both tonight and tomorrow from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. The bridge itself, we know, is already closed until springtime next year to all cars, buses, and streetcars as crews continue to work on replacing the bridge's deck. We're also tracking floods and landslide conditions in northwest Washington this morning after a record rainfall in that part of the state. At least 4 inches of rain fell across the Cascade Mountains since late Tuesday. Bellingham, that's about 90 miles north of Seattle, saw 3 inches of rain. That shattered the city's record for rain in a single day. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson declared a state of emergency, and the National Guard is activated with 100 service members already helping out.
Now, there are at least 6 rivers in the state that could break flooding records, as well as 3 dams at risk of failing. Officials are advising about 100,000 people to evacuate certain areas of Washington state. That includes the Mount Vernon area north of Seattle. The Skagit River there is still rising, expected to go up another 14 feet before Friday. Businesses were boarding up and sandbagging last night.
There's been multiple times today that I've almost been in tears. This is really a magical community.
To the southeast of Seattle, I-90 is shut down near North Bend. It's been closed more than 9 hours because of this landslide that trapped 3 cars there. And further south in Pierce County, sheriff's deputies had to go by boat to rescue people from an RV park. They evacuated at least 40 homes with river levels especially high in the town of Ording. Closer to our area now in Lewis County, the Cowlitz River is still what's considered major flood stage, triggering evacuations there. Some people who live on higher ground have been helping those who need the help.
It come up faster than I've ever seen water come up. There's some little kids in there that were packing stuff out to the car, and the first trip there was no water, and the second trip he stepped into the water, and then I come down in there and we loaded him out and got him out of there.
The Cowlitz River has flooded much of the Cascade Peaks RV Park near Packwood since yesterday morning.
We're also keeping track of minor flooding in southwest Washington, with some issues to keep an eye on in eastern Clark County and in Cowlitz County. So the Lewis River is going down after a flooded yesterday and spilled over onto roads and parks. But again, most of the road and park closures there have been lifted at this point. The Cowlitz River in Kelso is also back under flood stage.
On the Oregon coast, water is still high in some spots, but it is receding. Renee sent us these photos from yesterday of Drift Creek in Lincoln City. Highway 6 in Tillamook is back open, as well as after it looked like this yesterday. Tillamook firefighters had to rescue a handful of people, including this driver who got stuck in water. They're asking people to stay vigilant and not drive through any of the flooding. And in an update this morning, a Vancouver man's family who claims ICE agents ran over his foot during an arrest now say that he's been transferred to Texas.
Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz covering this story for us live this morning. What's the latest, Thomas?
Hey, good morning, guys. And yeah, last week, federal agents arrested 27-year-old Jose Paniagua Calderon in Vancouver. Video of the incident appears to show an SUV hit something near where Paniagua Calderon was sitting. He's now been transferred to an ICE facility in Texas. We want to warn people that some of the video involved in this story is disturbing. Paniagua Calderon's family tells us that they believe his foot may have been run over in the incident. Initially, they thought it may be broken before he told them that while he was in pain, his foot was not broken. The Department of Homeland Security fired back, with spokesperson Trish McLaughlin saying after ICE officers applied wrist restraints, Paniagua launched into an Oscar-level performance, dramatically screaming while officers simply moved his vehicle off the roadway. Now, Paniagua Calderon has been transferred from an ICE detention facility in Tacoma to one in El Paso, Texas. His family worries the move may be retaliation after they spoke out about the arrest last week.
I told my family, and they were all so sad and mad, and they couldn't believe that they had taken him more than 1,000 miles away from us.
DHS pushed back, saying claims that transfers of detainees are being weaponized or hidden are also categorically false. All transfers are made in accordance with strict guidelines. They say detainees and attorneys are notified about transfers and directs families to the ICE detainee locator. The Portland Immigrant Rights Coalition also says these kinds of transfers, they've seen others to Texas and Louisiana, are extremely disruptive. They say that it can also infringe upon legal cases as they play out. They say it also makes it impossible for some families to visit their relatives that are being detained. Guys.
All right, Thomas Schultz live for us this morning with the latest on one of our top local stories. Meanwhile, City Council approved Raymond Lee III as Portland's new city administrator. Lee, you see right there, comes to Portland after holding a similar post in Greeley, Colorado. At a news conference yesterday, he mentioned homelessness and the cost of living as two areas that he wants to focus on, but he also acknowledged the challenges that come from working within the city's budget.
All right, we are taking a live look at Pioneer Courthouse Square this morning as your time is 7:08. The Christmas tree lights are on. They are shining bright. How many days are we away from?
Well, today's the 11th, so 25 minus 11. We are 14
Carry
days
the
away.
1, divide by 2.
2 weeks from today.
Okay.
When you were kids, did you guys do those little chains where you glued them together and you counted the days?
Yeah.
We had beads. I know we counted some beads.
So Daphne's got, our daughter Daphne's got the little chain of construction paper on the Christmas tree, and last night she's cutting. She wanted to cut a few more, and I'm like, no. One at a time. Today's the 11th. We have 14 days to go, which means all of us parents are out there scrambling to figure out what to do. All right, 58 degrees, last check at PDX this morning. So off to another very, very warm start. In fact, 58 was our low for yesterday. A record warm minimum at PDX, meaning during the entire day of Thursday, the temperature never got below 58 degrees at PDX, which is just crazy warm. All right. Steady rain continues up in the Puget Sound and up around the Seattle area. Lighter but steady rain has been ongoing here across the northern third of our viewing area. So from Astoria to Longview and south to about Battleground, you've been enduring light rain this morning, but it's been fairly continuous. From about, south of Salmon Creek, especially Vancouver, Portland, and Point South, we've been rain shadowed by the Coast Range. The Coast Range is getting rain, but a lot of us here in the metro area are not. And Futurecast continues that trend through the day today. I mean, certainly cloudy and a little drippy from time to time, but generally rainfall, if any, will be very light here in Portland and Vancouver. In fact, our modeling is not even spitting out anything measuring. Still possibly another 1/10 to 2/10 of an inch of rain, though, in Wahkiakum and Cowlitz, northern Cowlitz County and Skamania County, and the North Oregon coast, I should say. But a lot of the rest of us will be mostly dry today and mild. It's 58 at the airport, south winds at 11. The wind is beginning to dial back a little bit, and the temperatures, our modeling may even not be quite warm enough here, but somewhere in the mid to upper 50s will hold steady there, I think, for the remainder of the day today. I doubt Marley is complaining about that. Marley's got the coat on and dressed for the holidays. 2 weeks away, of course, from Christmas. Marley is today's pet of the day. If you want to get a proper sunrise shout out to your pet of the day, all one word, is the email, petoftheday@kgw.com. You do that and we'll say hello. Hello, Marley. All right, hello to your 7-day forecast. I've got, well, we'll get to that in a minute. I've got a dry day on Friday and a dry day with maybe some sunshine on Saturday. Showers return on Sunday. And then maybe more significant rain on Monday. But guys, this does not look like anything like what we just went through, but something to be mindful of nonetheless. Corey, how are the roads looking?
Well, right now we're still keeping an eye out on this accident in North Portland. This is a live look from our photojournalist Chad Dehart, who's on the scene in North Portland. It's on Northeast Airport Way, right at the entry ramp from I-205 South. An incident that's blocked off one lane of traffic and that shoulder. Thankfully, traffic is moving along the side of it, but getting you to a view of our map and what our cameras look like from that stretch as well. Another point of view, you can see traffic still moving along quite nicely, but the semi involved in that incident. Our map view of it showing you how close it's situated to the interstate, but it's not creating much in the way of traffic delays. This is Northeast Airport Way at 82nd Avenue, so something we'll continue to monitor as we work to learn more details as well. Giving you other stretches that we're keeping an eye out on. I-205 at Killingsworth starting to pick up in the way of congestion just a touch. As you can see across the board, not seeing too much in the way of delays. Our drive times also reflecting that. Troutdale to I-5 sits just under 20 minutes. China?
Thank you, Corey. Oregon's crab season worth millions, but the secret to predicting a good year starts with creatures no bigger than a dime. Coming up in 2 minutes, how one scientist is using baby crabs to forecast the future of the state's biggest fishery.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Crabbing season in Oregon is set to get underway next Tuesday, a little more than 2 weeks behind schedule.
And while it's unknown exactly how big of a crabbing season it will be, a University of Oregon professor has a good idea based on more than 2 decades of research. Devin Haskins has more.
Crab season is big business in Oregon, pulling in around $68 million worth of crab each year.
They open the crab season when the crabs are fat enough.
And with an industry dependent on big numbers, that's where Dr. Alan Shanks comes in. For 25 years, he's been studying baby crabs, or megalopi. No bigger than a dime, but packed full of data.
And so basically what I've been doing is measuring how many of those guys come back each year.
He tracks their return using a simple light trap made out of a 5-gallon jug.
Like so many animals, they're attracted to light. It's just like the moths on your porch, they're attracted to light. These guys are attracted to light.
It takes about 4 years for a megalopi to grow into a full adult. If the babies come back in big numbers, it doesn't necessarily mean a big season. Many of them never make it. But when smaller numbers return, their odds skyrocket because there's less competition and less cannibalism from older crabs.
When there's very few of them that get here, and those tend to be during strong El Nino years, then the chances that these little baby crabs are going to grow up to be an adult and enter the fishery is much, much, much better than in a year when you get 3 million of them landing.
Regularly tracking how many come into his trap lets Shank predict the size of a future season.
If there's not a marine heat wave during the summer that the crabs are on the bottom, then yes, I can get to be, the long-term average is about plus or minus 12%.
So looking at 2021 numbers, for this season, he's anticipating around 15 million pounds. That's a little less than an average year in Oregon, which is just over 18 million.
The problem, though, is that it was a marine heat wave. And so it's damn good chance that it's going to be higher than that. But how much higher, I don't know.
Those heat waves are getting more frequent, he says. The warmer waters essentially create more food for the crabs and less cannibalism and competition. A reminder that the future of Oregon's most valuable fishery depends not only on the adult crabs, but the baby ones drifting back to shore. Devin Haskins, KGW News.
I take it back. It's not cute.
This
is.
cute, right?
Check out this high-fiving gorilla photo captured by a British photographer who won the top prize in this year's Nikon Comedy Wildlife Awards. Organizer says this was a record-breaking year for the annual contest, which more than 10,000 entries from 109 countries.
So that's a leg that I'm seeing up there on the right side, right?
Yeah.
Because the feet look like a hand. I mean, that's probably the closest I've ever looked at.
Yeah, that, I guess, is it?
You're Drew at the zoo.
I know.
Yeah, you should.
Sorry, I don't know all about the wild kingdom out there, but yeah, it was a cool shot.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you do a gorilla? No.
No, we can't. What we can do is the weather forecast.
All right, yes, that's cue for Chris. Let's stop talking about this and talk about the weather. So we're going to do that. A little breezy out there this morning, also a few showers. We showed you radar a few minutes ago. That breeze will subside. The showers will be primarily confined to the northern third of our viewing area. And then I think all of us have dry weather in the forecast for Friday and Saturday. That would be nice. Really a nice chance to dry out. Rain returns next week, a little drippy on Sunday. Monday looks significantly wetter. I'll show you a futurecast here in just a second. But sneak peek of your weekend. Again, if you got any more, it's getting a little late here, but if you got more holiday lights to put up, Saturday's a good day to do it. Morning clouds and fog, otherwise partly sunny. Again, periods of light rain in the Sunday forecast. Let's look at that Sunday-Monday time frame, not to blow past our weekend, but this is our next shot of significant rain. And I wanted to point this out for everybody that's concerned about water and river levels and whatnot. The amount of rain that we're seeing between now and Monday is fairly insignificant for a lot of us, but Monday's system will bring with it another maybe half an inch of rain. So we'll certainly monitor that. For now, we're monitoring the very mild temperatures. That is the other side of the atmospheric river, the 1-2-3 punch in some cases that this is brought to the northwest. While Seattle and points north continue to get hammered with rain, we are really warm. It's 58 degrees last check in PDX. It's 55 in Beaverton, 57 Sherwood, Salem checking in with 56. And even the usual cold spots in the state, not that cold. Baker City 33, Burns at 27 degrees. All right, as we mentioned, we do have a little bit of light rain falling primarily through the northern third of our viewing area. So Astoria to Longview, northern Clark County, the Coast Range, but Portland and Vancouver have been largely spared this rain, and as you get down towards Salem, nothing this morning, and I don't think that's going to change much today. Futurecast continues to show showers targeting the North Oregon coast and Coast Range and northern Clark County and points north, but even there, we're dialing back on the rainfall amounts, so that's good. All right, here in the metro area today, I may be too cool with these temperatures. I mean, we're already 58 or 59. The point is that the temperatures are not going to go very far today. So we stay in the upper 50s to just shy of 60 with that south breeze at 10 to 20 this morning. That breeze will subside as we head into the afternoon. Mild tonight, a dry day tomorrow, a dry day on Saturday as well. Showers return on Sunday. And then Monday's forecast is potentially wet, maybe on the order of a quarter to a half an inch of rain widespread a few days from now. And cooler temperatures appear in the offering later next week. Corey?
Well, Chris, our morning commute starting to pick up out on the roadway. Taking a look, this is I-5 at Broadway. More people making their way southbound at this hour than what we saw a few moments ago. So definitely picking up out there. Another live picture, I-5 southbound at Markham Bridge. This is the lower deck, also starting to become a little bit more congested at this hour. And then a crash we've been monitoring in Northeast Portland along Northeast Airport Way, right from the entry ramp to the I-205 freeway. Still active at this time. A live look from our ODOT cameras out there. You can see one lane blocked near exit 24. Traffic still moving around it pretty well this morning, but a broader view of what's going on out on the roadways still moving along quite nicely in the way of drive times from Main Street to I-405 will sit you right at 15 minutes. Drew?
All right, thank you very much, Corey. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth's signal chats never actually investigated. That's according to multiple sources at the Pentagon. We're going to have more on the story and other national headlines when Sunrise continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
President Trump says the U.S. military seized an oil tanker off the Venezuelan coast. Now, according to Attorney General Pam Bondi, the military was executing a seizure warrant saying that tanker was transporting oil from Venezuela and Iran as part of a, quote, oil shipping network supporting terrorist organizations. It is not clear, though, where that oil was headed or what's going to happen to it next. Let's get to some other national and world headlines here with your morning rush. Multiple sources say the Pentagon never investigated whether Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth put national security at risk when he shared sensitive information in a group chat in the Signal messaging app. So they say there was no review, in part because Hegseth himself didn't authorize one. Instead, they say he focused on investigating staff members who he believed were leaking information. Earlier, a watchdog report said Hegseth's actions risked endangering U.S. troops. A federal judge approved unsealing grand jury records from Jeffrey Epstein's 2019 sex trafficking case. This decision follows a separate order to release similar records tied to Ghislaine Maxwell. The judge pointed to a new law requiring the release of Epstein-related materials, but said victims' privacy still has to be protected. It's not clear when these documents may be made public. The Federal Reserve has lowered the interest rate by a 1/4 percentage point. The decision to lower the rate came from a 9-3 vote. The Fed also hinted that it could be done cutting rates for a while. After this decision was made, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said the Fed is, quote, well positioned to wait and see how the economy evolves from here. Uber news. Uber is launching kiosks at arrival terminals at select airports across the country. Now, these kiosks will let travelers book a car home even if they don't have the Uber app. Travelers can simply walk up to these kiosks, enter their destination, and then pay for the ride. The first kiosk is going in at LaGuardia Airport in New York City. And that's a look at your morning rush. Coming up in our next half hour of Sunrise, police in Gresham looking for 3 people after they were caught on camera putting a card skimmer inside a local Dollar Tree store. How police say they were able to pull it off when Sunrise returns for our next half hour. Also at 7:30, we're talking about relief in sight for potential home buyers after the Fed cut interest rates. We'll have a look at how the 2026 housing market looks when the Sunrise Show resumes. Before we go away, though, a quick look outside. We've got our sky cam set up here at the Reserve Vineyard and Golf Clubs in Aloha, the Explorer Tualatin Valley Group, making sure that we give you this live look on this Thursday morning. Chris McGinnis is also going to be back on board with a look at your Thursday forecast. And yes, we don't pay Chris to just look at today's weather. He's going to look ahead to the weekend as well. More Sunrise after this.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning. Your time now just before 7:29. Keeping an eye out in Northeast Portland. We do have an accident along Northeast Airport Way near the entry ramp from I-205 that we've been monitoring for the last hour, blocking one lane of traffic, but thankfully not creating much in the way of congestion. A look at your drive times right now. Moderate across the board if you are making your way along I-5 northbound from Wilsonville Road to the Markham Bridge. Sits just over 22 minutes. Chris?
Corey, thanks for that. Largely dry if you're in Portland and Vancouver and points south. Our Wells Fargo sky camera bears that out. It's also very mild and a little breezy out there right now. 58 degrees last check at PDX. There has been some recurring light rain showers here across the North Oregon coast, Coast Range, and northern Clark County and points north. Those are likely to continue for a little while, but Vancouver, Portland, and points south, not much. So it's just kind of a mostly cloudy, mild day, I think, does it for us today with 1 or 2 showers. 58 is our current temperature. As you can see, we don't go very far today. I've got a dry day Friday and a dry day Saturday before more light rain returns on Sunday.
7:30 half hour, the Sunrise Show on a Thursday morning. A live look right here from our Vancouver waterfront sky cam. Washington has definitely been in the bullseye of our news coverage lately because the weather was really severe in the northwest part of the state. We'll have more details on that coming up. But before we go there, what do we say to our viewers in Clark County?
Good morning. Yeah, it is the calm after the storm now, right, Chris?
Yeah, we got hit with the one atmospheric river and kind of a little piece of the second one. The second one hit Western Washington unbelievably hard, as we've been documenting in our newscast, just unbelievable flooding up there. We kind of dodged that, thankfully. And we're quiet. And so really the story out there this morning for a lot of us is just, well, A, it's mostly dry and it's also really warm. PDX was 58 degrees at midnight last night. That goes in the books as the low temperature for yesterday, meaning that Thursday never got below 58. That is a record warm minimum for the date, yesterday, December 10th. The typical high this time of the year is 47. We haven't been below 58 much in the last 2 days. It's 58 right now at the airport. The freezing level is above Mount Hood this morning at 11,600 feet. All right, radar over the last 3 hours has been targeting the North Oregon Coast Range, and northern Clark County and Cowlitz County with continual, generally light rain today. The scan here live shows that basically Vancouver, Portland, and points south have been generally dry, and Futurecast keeps that trend going today. In fact, down towards Salem, I mean, there may be some sunbreaks down there. But in any event, rainfall today, if we see any, will be really, really light. A few showers, 58, and then going into Friday and Saturday, I've got dry weather. I'll take a closer look at that Monday rain chance coming up in just a bit, but nothing like what we just recently went through. Corey?
Well, Chris, taking a look at the roadways, things picking up for us out on the interstate at this time. This is I-5 at Broadway, moving along those southbound lanes, starting to increase in the way of traffic. The same story in Green Hills, that area. This is Highway 26 at Jefferson Street. And then an accident we've been monitoring in northeast Portland. It's along Northeast Airport Way, right from the entry ramp to the I-205 freeway. It's an accident that's blocked off one lane of traffic. It's been ongoing for about an hour and 15 minutes now, but thankfully traffic around that crash moving well. That semi you see on that right-hand shoulder involved in that incident, so we're working to learn more details. But across the board, looking pretty good across our interstates. The drive times bumping up, which is typical for this time of day. If you're making your way along the Banfield from Troutdale to I-5, sits right at 25 minutes. Drew?
All right, Corey Johnson, we appreciate that. Let's get to our top headline here at 7:32. Immigrant rights groups are suing Multnomah County over accusations of violating Oregon sanctuary law.
The lawsuit claims the county jail contract with the U.S. Marshals Service violates the law. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live from the Multnomah County Courthouse in downtown Portland. So Thomas, break down this lawsuit for us.
Yeah, hey, good morning, guys. And yeah, it claims the contract allows people detained for immigration reasons to continue to be held, even if they've already posted their bail or if they've completed their sentence. In a statement, the Portland Immigration Rights Coalition said in part, as immigrant communities face increasing threats from federal agents, they need to know that Oregon will back them up with action, not just words. The agreement has been in place since 2019. It allows the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office to house federal detainees in jail in exchange for a payment. This includes detainees awaiting immigration hearings. In a statement, David Henretti, an attorney at Oregon Law Center, said in part, the county cannot allow federal agents to use our local jail as a pipeline to immigration detention. When a judge says you're free, you're free. We've reached out to the Department of Homeland Security about this and are awaiting their response. We also reached out to the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office. They tell us they cannot comment on pending litigation. Drew, China.
All right, Thomas Schultz live for us this morning in downtown Portland. Meanwhile, conservative influencer Nick Sorter is also planning a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the city of Portland over what he's calling his unlawful arrest at the ICE building. Sorter was one of 3 people arrested in early October accused of fighting near the ICE facility by the South Waterfront. After reviewing this case, the district attorney dropped the disorderly conduct charge against Sorter, saying that he was acting in self-defense. So now, according to a notice just filed this week, Sorter plans to sue the city and the Portland Police Bureau for $10 million, saying he was arrested without probable cause and he was targeted, he says, because of his political views. KGW's Blair Best spoke to his attorney.
So the tort claim alleges that his arrest was unlawful. What specific evidence supports that claim?
This is an interesting case because every bit of what happened is on video, and we know that the officers were able to see what happened. And what happened in this case is not only was Mr. Sorter innocent of any wrongdoing, but it was clear he was the victim.
Portland Police and the city both declined to comment on pending litigation, but in a social media post just after Sorter was arrested, the Police Bureau did say that it does not arrest people based on political affiliation or public profile.
Police are looking for these 3 suspects after they say the group planted a card skimmer inside a Gresham Dollar Tree. This video from Gresham Police shows how it all unfolded. So officers say the 3 walked in, each with a role. One distracts the store clerk, making small talk and asking for help in another aisle, while another moves in and attaches a skimmer to the card reader. Investigators say skimming cases have been reported across the area, including several at Dollar Trees and 7-Elevens in Washington County back in September.
We only know about the cases that are reported. And so how much more prevalent this is difficult for us to say, but we have definitely seen an increase in the last couple of days all throughout the metro area in different jurisdictions. So it is something that is definitely happening right now.
Okay, we're going to try to get that video in from the surveillance video here shortly, but here's a look at the 3 suspects. If you recognize any of them, contact Gresham Police.
The district attorney's office in Washington County is getting a boost to fight against shoplifting and organized retail theft. The county received more than $1.5 million from the state to help law enforcement investigate thefts, support prosecutions, and also upgrade security for small and medium-sized businesses. There's also a new effort underway in Washington, D.C. to support wildfire survivors. Oregon Senator Ron Wyden is backing a bill that would permanently stop the federal government from taxing wildfire settlement payments. Senator Wyden says survivors should not get hit with a big tax bill when they're trying to rebuild. This proposal would extend current tax relief, which is set to expire at the end of this year, so people could use their full settlement to deal with lost homes, injuries, and other damages. Lawmakers from California, Wyoming, and Montana are also backing this bill.
In a developing story, the Army Corps of Engineers addressed concerns over a planned drawdown of Detroit Lake. The idea here is to lower the already low lake 55 feet lower than standard to help endangered salmon species pass through it. The Army Corps says it will help juvenile fish find their way out of the reservoir and survive at a higher rate. But some who live in the area are worried about how it will affect recreation on the lake as well as drinking water access.
That is a big concern for the canyon. They've been hit by the wildfires. And they're trying to get recreation to come back. They depend on that recreation in the summer.
There's a concern that our water filtration system is not set up for turbidity.
The Army Corps says that people will lose lake access in the winter weeks after the drawdown because the boat ramp won't reach far enough, but it shouldn't impact the lake filling back up for summer recreation months. The Corps also says that the drawdown will be gradual starting next year, and they plan to monitor water quality as they go.
All right, Chris McGinnis, I know you're going to talk about our next chance for rain when you get to your 7-day forecast, but I'm curious about the temperature today. Are we going to see warm temperatures again? Because I think yesterday we got up to like 58 degrees, right?
62.
62 yesterday.
62. Right, yeah, yesterday's record high was 65. We hit 62. The record that we saw yesterday was 58 for the overnight low, as in it didn't get below 58 for the entire calendar day, which was Wednesday, December 10th, which is the warmest it's ever been for a low temperature at PDX. That is remarkable. And I just looked at the climate book here through the first 10 days of the month. So a third of the way through December, and we're running nearly 7 degrees above average for the month here in Portland, which then leaves you with no surprise that Timberline Lodge looks like this right now. Typically this time of the year, we would be starting to add and build that base. There'd be maybe 2-3 feet of snow and building at Timberline Lodge. There is nothing up there right now. Now, maybe beyond days 5 or 6, we start to get some cooler weather and some hints, recurring hints at a pattern change that would bring us colder weather and snow to the mountains 5-7 days out. But for now, that's what it looks like up at Timberline, where it's currently 39 degrees and raining. Down low, it is mild. 58, as Drew mentioned at the airport. The freezing level this morning, the Mount Hood summit is 11,240 feet. The freezing level is 400 feet higher than that, which is just crazy, crazy warm. Our Futurecast keeps temperatures generally in the mid to upper 50s today, so we don't go very far. And even the chilly parts of the state, east side, not very cool. We have had recurring light rain through the North Oregon Coast Range and across southwest Washington north of about Battleground up towards Kalama, Longview, Kelso, etc. That's been primarily light rain, and Futurecast shows that that is the area that's likely to see some ongoing light rain. But the rest of us, boy, there's not much in the way of rainfall in the forecast. And as I show you Futurecast here, you'll see that, I mean, we get a few spits of rain in Portland and Vancouver, but maybe that's about it. Maybe another 1/10 or 2/10 up towards Kelso. So things continue to dry out. They'll be even drier tomorrow. Say hello to Marley. Marley is today's pet of the day. If you want to get a proper shout out to your best friend, your best animal friend, send your photos to petoftheday@kgw.com. You do that and we'd be happy to give you a shout out. Marley is dressed for the occasion with Christmas Day just 2 weeks away. Okay, our 7-day forecast, few showers today, emphasis on few. Dry tomorrow, dry Saturday. We may even see some sunshine after some morning fog. Light rain returns on Sunday. Corey?
Well, in the way of traffic, things picking up for us out on the way or out on the interstate at this hour. We are taking a live look right now. This is Highway 26. Those eastbound lanes at Ross Island Bridge moving a bit slow for us this morning. The same thing for I-5 southbound at Broadway, also picking up at this hour. And the Banfield, of course, this time of day, pretty typical to see this. I-84 East at 53rd Avenue, also seeing more congestion. This accident still active for us in Northeast Portland. It's along Northeast Airport Way, right at the entry ramp from the I-205 freeway. You can see that incident in that right-hand corner of your screen. Emergency crews still out there. A semi involved in that accident that happened almost 2 hours ago now, so they've been out there for quite some time. And look at your drive times bumping up. If you're traveling from Brookwood Parkway to 405, it'll sit just under 30 minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Corey.
Sloth Puppet, hi, how are you? Do you need another sidekick or the morning show?
Actually, it's China Green who needs the new sidekick on the morning show.
Aww.
But we're not done being together just yet. We have a new edition of What to Do with China and Drew. And this morning, what we're doing is shopping with money that was donated by our viewers to the Great Toy Drive. That segment right after this.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Final days of this year's KGW Great Toy Drive are here. So next Tuesday, we're going to wrap up the collection efforts with the annual parade of toys, looking to fill that toy box there up to the ceiling with your donations. And then a week from today, next Thursday, all the toys get distributed to local nonprofits who help us deliver them to kids and their families.
So for the past month, we have told you one of the easiest ways to help out is by donating cash to the Great Toy Drive and then letting us do the toy shopping for you. So that's exactly what Drew and I got to do during a visit to Camas.
This is the most important time of year and the most magical time of year. It's when we're really counting on our community to come into the shop, find that perfect gift, and bring cheer for the holiday into the home.
Periwinkle's Toy Shop in downtown Camas embodies what small local business is all about. Connected to the community,
Folk Manus makes some wonderful puppets.
and dependent on the community.
Sloth Puppet, hi, how are you? Do you need another sidekick or the morning show?
So it was a huge holiday season boost when they found out that we were going to spend $4,000 that viewers donated to the KGW Great Toy Drive at their shop buying toys for local kids.
This is one of our best lines. It goes from $3 to $99 because the parents play as well.
The $4,000 for a shop like us in a small town is huge. It can make or break our month. This is magical, and we're really appreciative of it.
Bye-bye. Going past. Winning.
Periwinkle's, by the way, isn't just getting a lift from the toy drive, they're also helping to lift it up, allowing us to set up shop within their shop as one of the official Great Toy Drive collection sites.
This is our first year, and what has been brought to our store with this toy drive is amazing. We want to get toys out there with this great toy drive to bring happiness to kids. It's awesome. We really want to thank you. It's been a gift.
All right, so the bottom line this morning, it's not too late to give, but it's getting late. Yeah, we're running out of time. Big shout out to Periwinkle's, by the way. We appreciate them opening the doors up to our cameras. $25 is just a suggestion. $5 can help. Everything helps at this point in the game, so you can make that cash donation online at kgw.com. And yes, China Green and I will do some more toy shopping for you. Yeah, there you go. Quick shout out to Great Clips, doubling donations all week long. That definitely makes a difference. And if you want to help out in person, you can drop off new unwrapped toys at 2 different collection events this weekend. Cedar Hills Crossing will be out there on Saturday from 11 to 2. And then on Sunday, China and I will be at the Beaverton Fred Meyer over on Beaverton Hillsdale Highway. That's the one right by Highway 217. Hours that day also 11 to 2. Chris is looking at that weekend forecast here, which we're all hoping for some dry weather at least.
Very dry Saturday. Sunday's a little drippy, but I mean, not a soaker. So let's go ahead and bring that up here. This is your weekend forecast. We've got morning low clouds and fog on Saturday. I think we actually may manage some sunshine, so that'd be nice. It feels like it's been a bit since we've seen sun. We do bring back periods of light rain on Sunday. Sunday's system looks fairly insignificant, but real quick, as we were kind of teasing ahead to early next week, our next shot of significant moisture looks like it comes in on Monday. The next round of tropical moisture starts to feed into the northwest, and this does not look anything like what we just went through. But just to walk you through, this is our next round of significant rain. Monday into Tuesday. This is what the European model is showing us, and we'll just throw some numbers out there to give you an idea right now. Generally, maybe a third to 2/3 of an inch of rain up and down the I-5 corridor, more at the coast, more in the Cascades, and snow levels, again, will still be pretty high with this next system that comes in. Beyond this, though, there are some signs, recurring signs in the models here that suggest that we may slide into a cooler weather pattern after about the 15th of the month, maybe the 17th of the month. And that's huge because for the month of December thus far, PDX is running nearly 7 degrees above average. 58 out the door this morning. Our normal high this time of year is 47. It's 55 right now in Beaverton, 57 in Sherwood. Across the region, upper 30s in Bend. Bern's one of the cooler spots on this map, but again, by Bern standards, that's not that cold at 27 this morning. We have had ongoing light rain across the South Washington, North Oregon Coast Range, and north of about Battleground up into Kelso and Longview. That rain looks to continue through today, and that's actually what Futurecast has been showing us. Meanwhile, the rest of us, not so much. So periods of light rain at the north coast. The central and south coast may not see really any rain today. Really breezy through the gorge, plenty of cloud cover with a chance of some showers for you folks. Southwest Washington, again, north of about, let's say, Salmon Creek is the best chance for occasional showers today. South of there, from Vancouver to Portland, not a whole lot. And we get down towards McMinnville, Salem, and Corvallis. We may even see some sunbreaks today with highs once again in the 60s. 58 has been, I think, the warmest that we've been today, and our temperatures pretty much hold steady in the upper 50s. It'll be cloudy, maybe a little drippy, but a lot of dry time today. Friday is a dry day for Portland. Saturday is a dry day for Portland as well. We may wake up to some fog, but we're optimistic that we'll see some clearing in the afternoon. Sunday showers, and then, as we mentioned, Monday, Tuesday of next week look fairly wet. Not like what we just went through, but significant rainfall nonetheless. Corey?
Well, Chris, unfortunately, we are not crash-free out on the roadway this morning. I want to take you to this accident we're monitoring in Tigard right now. It's along Highway 217, impacting the southbound lanes. That crash situated right after exit 6 to Pacific Highway. This is a live look from our ODOT cameras out there. You can see blocking one lane of traffic at this time. It looks like tow vehicles and emergency crews out there assisting that driver. So partially blocked one lane and moving a touch slow past that wreck. Other areas that are moving slow for us at this time. This is 405 southbound. The northbound lanes, are moving slowly at Southwest 4th Avenue. So keep that in mind as you make your way to work this morning. The Banfield also checking in, a little bit congested. Those eastbound lanes at 53rd Avenue, not quite creeping along. This is what we expect to see for this time of day. And then over on Northeast Airport Way, an accident we've been monitoring for the last few hours or so. This is that one right here in our bottom right camera. You can see this is right at the entry ramp from the I-205 South Freeway, blocking one lane of traffic. An accident that's ongoing. We'll continue to monitor, but your drive time starting to bump up, which they do around this time of morning. Main Street to 405 sits at 22 minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Corey.
We do think that affordability will start to improve. It's going to be a slow process.
Good news for potential home buyers as prices for new houses may finally start to come down. What you can expect for the housing market in 2026 coming up when Sunrise Streaming Live at 7 continues in 2 minutes.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Oregon's unemployment rate keeps climbing, 5.2% in September, up from 5% in August and 4.3% a year ago. Healthcare added 1,300 jobs last month, while construction and business services each added 700. The financial sector lost 700 jobs, and manufacturing dropped by 200. Nationwide, unemployment sits at 4.4%.
If you're in the market to buy a new home, there is some good news for potential buyers. Thanks to the Fed's rate cut, things might finally be looking up in the housing market come the new year. Jen Sullivan explains.
The housing market has been plagued by high sticker prices, high interest rates, and low inventory. A perfect storm for potential buyers. But some experts say good news is on the horizon.
We do think that affordability will start to improve. It's going to be a slow process.
Chen Zhao with Redfin, a real estate brokerage firm, says interest rates will likely continue to come down. Average 30-year mortgage rates have already begun to drop from the 6.8% highs we saw in 2023, according to this Redfin graph. And Redfin predicts they could drop to 6.3% in 2026.
That's probably not as low as a lot of people would like to see, but it's an improvement from the mid to high 6% averages that we've seen for the past 3 years.
And even dropping rates by 1/4 of a percentage point can save buyers hundreds, even thousands of dollars a year in interest payments, depending on how much you're borrowing to buy a home. Wednesday, the Federal Reserve met for the final time this year, announcing a cut to benchmark interest rates by 1/4 percentage point, lowering borrowing costs to between 3.5 to 3.75%. While that doesn't necessarily mean mortgage rates will drop, it does mean it will be cheaper to borrow money.
Available indicators suggest that economic activity has been expanding at a moderate pace. Consumer spending appears to have remained solid, and business fixed investment has continued to expand.
Here's the bad news. Redfin predicts young potential homebuyers will still face hardships.
For young families, the difficulty is that oftentimes they're not in the house that they want to be in when they want to start having kids. So they are delaying having these, having kids and making these choices right now.
Zhao says you may even see younger would-be buyers move in with their parents or roommates to save money. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Coming up at 8 on KGW Plus, evacuations are underway for hundreds of thousands of people in western Washington as that part of the state braces for even more heavy rain and even more flooding. We'll share the rescue efforts.
Also in our next hour, we're just days away from the opening of Dungeness crab season along the Oregon coast. We're going to explain how one local professor is predicting this year's harvest. He's actually been doing this for years. Again, that story coming your way next hour. We close out the 7 o'clock hour with a live look from the coast. Lincoln City, our Chinook Winds Casino Resort sky cam right there. Not really easy to see what's happening out there in Lincoln City because of the cloud cover and some of the fog. Chris McGinnis with your full Thursday forecast and a look ahead at the weekend coming up next hour as well.